How to get started with Dall-E number 2. In this step-by-step tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can get started. Welcome to TechExpress. My name is Steven, and in today's tutorial, I'm going to be talking about how Dall-E number 2 works. I'm going to discuss how can we generate high-quality images. I'm going to be showing you how to set up your Dall-E number 2, generate images, and how, of course, to add a few techniques advanced for Dall-E number 2 that can be helping you to get like the best practices and limitations, of course. So let's just get started. The very first thing you wanted to do now we are here into the OpenAI.com is to look out for the actual product of Dall-E number 2. So the OpenAI is an amazing place to make a research of artificial intelligence, and this one has the product of Dall-E number 2. They were creating, of course, the overview of the ChatGPT. They created much more stuff, but in today's tutorial I'm going to be focusing now into the OpenAI app of Dall-E number 2. Now Dall-E number 2 is going to be actually helping us to start by creating whatever kind of original realistic images art from just a text description. So if I ask for something like an astronaut riding a horse in a photorealistic style, boom, the computer, the artificial intelligence is going to be generating something totally original for my actual prompt. And it's not only that, they do have different variations of the example. So this is example number 1, this is example number 2, this is example number 3, and this is example number 4. Based on the examples that you choose, you can even create some more variations based on the image that you choose, on the style that you choose. So how can we get started? Very first thing you want to do is to go into OpenAI.com /product Dall-E number 2. I'm going to get into try Dall-E, and this one is going to be sending me into the labs of the .openai.com. So what I need to do is to create an account. So I'm going to sign this out. So I'm going to be showing you how we can create an account and how we can set up this correctly. So once again, let's try it with Dall-E number 2. And here, instead of choosing continue, let's go for sign up. So here, what you want to do is to type an email address, or you can choose continue with Google, continue with your Microsoft account, and hit into continue. Once you have successfully added that, what I want to do now is to hit into the dashboard of my OpenAI. Now, as you can see, I'm now inside Dall-E number 2. In the upper side, we have the history, we have the collections. Down here, we have the detailed descriptions of how we can get started. And down here, we have a few examples of how we can get started. So for example, here, if you want to create something like this, you want to check it out, the actual prompt that was generated. For example, a cyberpunk monster in a control room. And this is what Dall-E number 2 created. So what I can totally suggest before we can get started is to try to focus into the style that you wanted to create. For example, this one, a sandwich style sunset above the reflecting water of the sea digital art. So this is the example that I wanted to see of how I can do my own work. So if I wanted to have this style, I'm going to copy this prompt and I'm going to go back into my actual prompt generator, and let's say I want to paste it. And instead of choosing a sunset about the reflecting water of the sea, I want to delete all of this and choose a synthwave style of a vintage car at midnight and coma digital art. So if I hit into generate, Dall-E number 2 is going to be generating what I wanted to do based on the actual image prompt that I chose. Now, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different styles. So what you want to do is to try to look for the one that fits for your actual needs, and then what you want to do is to create variations if you are actually good with it. So let's say that I am interested into the first one, but I wanted to see like more of the car. I want to see more elements in the car. So if you choose this one, so there's 2 things that we can do. Let's try to actually make the variation of this image. So what I want to do is to select my image that I kind of like, whether it will be this one or this one or this one. In my case, I'm going to stick around with this version and hit into the upper side and look out for variations. So now Dall-E number 2 is going to generate variations of the same images that I do loved from the actual 4 different examples. Now, as you can see, I have now 4 different versions based on this image. If you kind of don't like any of those, you don't have to worry about that. We can go back and try to do exactly the same thing, but with another image, for example, like this. Now, before we continue, there's something really important that you need to understand. This technology actually works with a few credits. Now, as you can see, when you create your account, you have up to 50 or 30 credits truly for free. And you're going to be getting free credits after each month, but you're going to be earning up to 15 credits or 12 free credits. So in my case, I only have 12 credits, and every time you ask the computer to create something for you, it's going to be taking just 1 credit at a time. So that means that you don't want to ask too much questions, and you want to specify what you're exactly looking for, so you don't spend absolutely everything in just 1 day or in 1 hour. Now, going back into this actual example, as you can see, we don't have now different versions of ours are actually looking for. So now what we wanted to do is to use a few advanced tools of the actual Dall-E number 2. After you have filled the image that you kind of liked, I'm going to go and hit into these 3 dots and hit into edit my image. This one is going to be sending me into the left section where I can add more stuff into the image that was already been generated. So for example, let's say that I want to see more about this car. So here, as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different elements. We can choose the select so we can move around. We can choose the pen so we can move this place to another one. We can have the eraser. We have the add generation frame, and we have the uploaded image. We want to look out for the add generation frame. And here want to, let's say, move this and here, and I want to choose like half of my image generated, and I want to start by making the same thing here. So I want into my generation frame to have exactly the same element, but I want to fill all of this element here. So now that I added my generation frame, hit into generate. And just as all the results, we have 4 different versions. As you can see, this is our example number 1, example number 2, our example number 3, and our example number 4. You wanted to choose the one that fits for your needs the best. And let's say that I kind of like this one, but I don't like the actual backside of the car. So what I can do is to hit into accept, and now I'm going to go into eraser. And here what I want to do is to delete the parts that I don't like of my generated image. For example, this backside of the car. So I'm going to delete this element. And here what I want to do is to be a little bit more specific. A synthwave style of a vintage car at midnight. Once again, we have 4 different versions. And in my case, I think that I'm going to stick around with the second version and hit into accept. Once we have successfully done that, what you want to do, of course, is to hit into download. So I'm going to hit now into save. I'm going to hit here. So I'm going to take a look into how it's going to be looking my latest digital art image. And this is the result that we have generated from Dall-E number 2. So this is how, guys, we can get started into Dall-E number 2. Once again, I can strongly suggest you to don't spend absolutely anything here, everything in just 1 day. If you wanted to look out for ideas, what you can do is to look out for some stock images, artificial intelligence. So I'm going to go for stock images from AI on the Google section. And here I do have, let's say, for example, Dreamside, I have stockedai.com, I have iStockPhoto, and I have much more. And I didn't have to spend a lot of stuff using my free credits. With that being said, guys, this is how we can finish our Dall-E number 2. Now you're actually good to get started. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more amazing tools created by the OpenAI. Thank you so much for watching the video. And with that being said, hopefully I'll see you next time.